Welcome everybody, this is Pam at the Paper Outpost. Hey, you want a quick and easy tip to get those darn pages to fit in that book that you're working with? Maybe you've got a book cover or well, you got the whole Twitter fest is awake and chirping this morning. That's Holly, my African gray. But let's say your book cover is bigger. And for example, this book cover, I'll just do a quick measure here. 10 by like 7 1/4. So it's a big one. And you love the idea of using a big book because, hey, you can have some really nice space to do some good journaling. Log, 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 flip, log, 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 flip. Oh, the possibilities, right? But then you come along with your little page and you're like, I'm going to put this in a signature. And that's looking a little small. That's not going to work so good. What am I going to do? I got problems. Okay, I'm back. So, let's say you have some pages that are just, well, look at you here. Interesting. They're not tall enough. Help. These aren't wide enough. Help. I showed you the other day how to deal with pages not wide enough if you just don't want to get involved in a lot of cutting and measuring and all that kind of stuff. So, but now I'm going to teach you how to do the north and south as opposed to the east and west problem, the north and south. And you can do both in the same journal. And this one, I think I'm going to keep this one for myself. I just need a writing journal like with a little more space. I have one, but I could use more elbow room. You know what I mean? Yes. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's pretty easy. It's basically a similar concept. And until I saw it, it never dawned on me. And when I saw somebody do it, this was a while ago, and I apologize, I don't remember who, but my world changed again. I'm like, oh my God, I can use journals of any, or book covers of any size then. Okay, so I love this book cover. It's an old Sketches for the Flora, an old vintage book cover. It has a flower on with some old tape marks. I love that. I just like the nostalgic oldness of it all. And it's a beautiful hunter green color, natural color it came in. And so yeah, let's have some fun with it. Okay, so to go north and south, all right, let's just take some general pages. I'm going to take some, let me see, like a regular page. Maybe this isn't the best example because these sort of fit. Yeah, that doesn't really work so well. So let me take some smaller pages and show you how to get those to fit. All right. So here is the concept. Not really rocket science at all, but you can take them and you can decide where you want to fold them. Doesn't matter. Let's say you want some dead center and you want some not quite dead center. So you're going to fold it maybe like that, because that's just how you're rolling today. Okay, so you get a bunch of these and you get them in here and they don't reach north and south. So really all you do is you go like this. Yeah, and you stretch them and you make them fit. Yes, and then you can take them right up to where you want it to go, as high as you want it to go, low as you want it to go, and then all of a sudden it fits. And then you've got some layered things which are kind of cool inside. So pretty much you can take any size papers and adjust them to fit in your journal. So let's say, also north-south issues. This paper technically is long enough this way. So I could just say, okay, I can just fold this paper in half and then it's going to fit in my journal. Okay, and life is good and everything's fine. But then I have the east-west issue. But let's say I want to take the paper like this, so I have more material, like more paper to work on this way and that way. If I fold it in half, obviously my north-south is not long enough. But I can take a bunch of these, crunchy, and they don't have to be coffee dyed papers. It just happens to be what I have here. I gotta do some more coffee dyeing. I'm getting low. Okay. So you can take these and do the same thing as with those little papers. You can just go and make them fit. Or you can also layer in. You can do one here. Now, obviously, it is a little bit more work because you've got to make sure everything's going to align correctly and hold it in place and everything so that you know it's the right length. But it can be done, so don't be swayed if your pages don't fit the size of your cover because there are workarounds. And I want to show you one more tip. Let's say that one I want to put down lower, but this one I want to put higher. And it's kind of easy when you grab the whole clump when it's the right size, and then you put in the next one on top. So I might suggest, there's a million ways you can do this, but starting from your center page and then working out, because you'll have more, it's easier just to grab the darn pile. You know what I mean? Okay, so grabbing this, it's already aligned where I want it, and I'm just going to put this where I think that might look pretty. And there we go. So I'm going to, this one is going to be a more staggered look. Now, let's add one more little layer on top of this. All right, here's a pretty avocado dyed paper. Fold you. Fold you. Actually, I think I'll do you long way. Now, are you too long? Yeah, look, you're too long. Okay, so that's a whole other world. But I'm going to fold you this way, and then you are going to fit. And I will adjust you on here so that you sit exactly where I want you to sit. There we go. Okay, so now we're rolling and we're filling it up. Now, we have this issue, right? Okay, so remember, I'm just going to flashback quickly, show you here, but I want to show you one new thing. Don't give up yet. So folding in half gets you this far. But if you see how far you want to go, and then, let me just grab my ruler. Easier to get a straight line. Then you fold where you want it to go. Here. Okay. If you line up the top with the top, everything should go smooth and exact. That was pretty darn close. There. So now you've got wider pages. So now you can actually start to stagger the wider pages. Now let's say you've got, okay, let me put one more wide page in there just so we have the wide page feel. All right, I just got a bunch of random papers here, because this is my journal. I wanted to use up what I have. Trying to use up the pile. Okay, now folding this. Now I don't want to fold it in half. I want to do the same thing. So I want to make another wide one. So I want it to go at least to here. Is that right? Okay, align that up there. I'm actually using the edge of the whiteness here to decide exactly how far I want the page to go over. And then I can eyeball it and just follow that line. If you go to the top and you line up here, this little point with the edge, then when you fold, it should fold perfectly. Okay, so we got that one. Now, instead of putting this one on the same way, I could flip it over and I could do something like this. But maybe I want to go, where did I went low on this wide one. I'm going to go high on this wide one. Yeah, that's going to do that. Okay, so then as you're going through, you're going to have a lot of different kinds of pages, different widths of pages, lots of variety. And you can, if you started initially, you can incorporate some of these easty-westies as you go in the middle as well. So this is just a technique to get papers to fit pretty much any book that you are working on. If you're willing to slide north and south and extend, like don't do the centerfold, but you do an off-center fold to give you the length on one side of the page. Now, one more little tippy trick. All right. Where's my glue? There it is. Okay. Let's say, all right, that's great, Pam, but I'm going through here and I'm seeing it's okay. But then I come to something, I'm like, you know, this is just a little short. I'm just not comfortable with that. I would like it to maybe go a little further that way. You have options. You can glue it on or you can sew it on. Oh, you could probably staple it on too, but let's just say you want to glue it on. So let's do an extend a page right in the journal. Let's say it's all sewn in already and I'm just thinking, I really want to extend this page a little bit. So I'm going to come down here with a little stream. And this is a fun way to use up those scraps again. Let me go find a scrap. I should have no shortage of scraps. Because my little pup is helping me pull out scrapperoos. And scraps can be anything. I mean, they can be a pretty page, you know. They can be, okay, I'm just going to glue this. I don't know, it's just a pretty page I found. And I'm just going to extend that on there. Now, I have options. I can say, whoa, I just love all this. I want to keep that in the journal. And what I could do is I can make sure I know where my center is. And if you want to put a clip on here just to keep everything in place so it doesn't run around on you, probably a good idea. Oh, forgot a page. Forgot a page. And so you can actually go in, post signature creation, and make extend pages, which will give you extended pages. All right, so we have this. Now this is wider than my book. See, there's the edge of my book, and this goes beyond. Now I have a choice. I can come along here and do a big tear, put that down, and put it right where I want it, and tear that off. Okay, but I think that this list thing is sort of cool. It has all different flower names on it, and I might like to keep that in there for inspirational purposes. So I might just do a classic fold-in. I may just do one of these deals, okay? I might come along and see exactly where everybody's in the center. Okay, here's my midline. Okay, and I can come over here and see exactly how far I want to come in. And it might be to the end, it might not be to the end. It might be further in, it might be less further in. And I could fold it different ways. I can fold it like this. I can also do this kind of fold. That would be kind of cool, right? Yeah, let me do that. It gives me options. I like options. Bet you guys like options too. Yeah? All right, so we have that. And then, okay, this page is a little bit long, so I would actually have to manually come and cut that off. But if I used a page that was shorter, I could translate it up and down, north and south, to put it exactly where I want it. But then I could just put a little tab here or something, and it shows that this page opens up. And it also gives you more writing space on the back, and the page will also, you know, look like that when you do that, which is kind of cool. Now, one more. Okay, I got more tips. And I think this is fun. To kind of decorate that seam. Now, there's nothing wrong with that seam itself. It's actually pretty when you have the coffee dye meeting a white creamish paper. But, well, let's say you don't have coffee dyed paper and you're just working with regular paper and you're just not feeling that. You're not feeling it with the seam showing. Now, here's just a quick little easy idea. Let's say you want to do something like this. Okay, I'm grabbing something like this. Hang on. I'm right here. I have not left the building. Okay. I'm back. Take some seam binding. Okay, seam binding is very thin. Hey, yeah, it's very thin. And you just glue it here. Well, how do you glue it there, Pam? Because it's gonna, you know, it's all right. You just grab whatever. I like Fabrifix because it's a fabric glue, and I just put a thin bead. And the Sugar Bells icing piping bottle allows me to get a thin bead. You can probably use other bottles too, but this one is really handy. And got that, I think, idea from Gail Augustin. Now, it was a great idea, Gail. And I hear you, ma'am. That does make life easier. Okay, because it saves you on your glue, because glue's expensive. So I want you guys to save your money for your crafting fun. Okay, or your ice cream. How about that? All right, so there, got that. And then that seals the theme. Hi, Holly, my African gray parrot. All right, there we go. So that's one option of connecting the pages. It also makes the connection stronger. But here's another one. So I have, yes, on this side of the page. I actually like the way that's all torn. Let me do another one. We have time, and I will. I'll show you another option which you can just do for fun. All right, so we got this page here. What are you doing with this page? All right, let's just fold this one in half. Just regular old half-a-roo. And put my whole signature back together. I'll just put everything back together. Here we go. Get yourself together here, Missy. Hold it all together. Okay. Now, I'm going to put this one on here. Okay, lift it up. Building up my signature, making it fatter. Like I said, these are a little bit more work when you're working with a journal cover that is bigger than a standard page, but when folded. But there are ways. We have ways. Okay, so let's extend this. Let me go find another piece of paper. Okay, so we just have this here. Maybe I just want to glue that on there. Okay, so I'm going to glue it, but then I'm going to show you a different way you can play with the connection. All right, there we go. Just a little thin bead of glue. And then I'm just going to put this down. They don't have to be the same length either. Sometimes it looks cool when it's a staggered length. So yeah, you're never... try and throw away those ideas that you're limited by your paper or your book cover, because you're not. You can go beyond the edges. You can go within the edges. You can go farther north and south. You can go farther east and west. You can add things. Remember, you can always add things. And okay, let me grab something. Hang on. I'm back. I have something. Okay, I got this at the Dollar Tree the other day. I was so excited. And I love this twiny stuff. It's thin, and you can use thread. You can use any very thin string will work. But when you put a very thin, bead of Fabrifix down here. Okay. You can just lay this down and it will, oh, good. That's how you knock everything off your table. There you go. All right. So I'm hoping you're finding these tips helpful, because these tips can be life-changing if you're getting stuck. And I've had a lot of questions and stuff in the comments and things like that about what do. I have this gorgeous cover. I love it, but my pages just don't work. And you can snip it right at the edge. Or you can extend it and let a little tail hang. That's totally fine too. You can let your tail hang. It's perfectly okay. And so that will stick there, and it will stay there, and that will give you a nice, let me just show you. There it is. It looks really pretty. Very nice finished edge. Very easy to do. Super easy peasy, right? Anybody can do it. Anybody. Okay, let me shrink you down a little so you can see better. Okay, trying to be mindful of the zoom. Sometimes I go zoom crazy. Okay, what else can we use? You could even use, well, that might be a little bit small. But anyway, I think that gives you some ideas on how you can work in the construct, within the constructs of your book covers. So you can go north and south, you can go east and west, and you can have a lot of fun doing it. So I hope these ideas help you expand your junk journal universe, because it's all about stretching your brain, stretching your creativity, stretching your mind. Let's see where we can take this. Everything has not been created. I promise you, there are more and more and more ideas and ways and things to think about and fun to be had, which is most important, that is still available to you. And just keep your eyes open, keep your ears sharp, and watch for creativity, because it'll come by you. Opportunity comes by your way every day, even if you're hiding inside with because of COVID. So inspiration is here for you. I get so inspired by you guys on the Facebook group. Thank you so much for that. I really love that we are focusing on creativity and creating junk journals and everything related to junk journals. And I put my videos up there so that you can get some inspiration for things to make. But what you guys make and run with is just mind-blowing. I love what you share, what you post, your pictures. You give each other so many wonderful ideas, including me. I'm flabbergasted every time I look there. I'm like, oh my God, that is amazing. I never thought of that. I would have never thought of that in 100 million zillion years. So thank you for that. Thank you for taking the time and energy and effort to jump in and answer each other's questions on junk journals. We all have accumulated so many tips and tricks along the way, and we have all been beginners, and we are all somewhere along the journey, on the process, this never-ending journey of making books. And that is an awesome thing, that we actually get to make books together. How fun is that? And it leaves a legacy. It leaves something here on the planet that says you were here. And there's like a, I want to say like people who make junk journals and people who value books, value the worthiness of books, understand that even the creation of a book from scratch, a book from junk, a book from little tidbits around the house, has an enormous amount of history, nostalgia, meaning, and value to it, because it literally is a document of somebody's life. Because even if, it doesn't matter if you're using scrapbook papers or anything, those are the choices that you made when you created it, and that leaves your legacy. It leaves an imprint of you on the earth. Nobody would have put those papers together the way you did. And inside of each and every one of you is a creative factory. And it's never ending. And even if you think it went out the window and you're like dead to ideas, there's nothing there, it's still there. I promise you, it just has to be coaxed out. So yes, let's see who we got here today. Let's see a little face. Okay, so this is came a little guy. Okay, we're gonna do the same. Okay, say good morning to the people. Sunny says hello. Hello, everybody. Okay, that was Sunny. He is sleeping beside me here on the mat. So quick Sunny update. He's doing great. We went on a bike ride this morning, and he wears this little harness, like a little, almost like it looks like a life vest. He gets in, clicked in, and then attached to the bike basket, so he cannot fall out. And I'm a paranoid mother, so I'm like, are you? Don't fall out, don't fall out, don't fall out. And he did really well, and we had a lot of fun. So those are the adventures of Sunny and me so far. And I think I tired him out a little bit. He almost goes for a 4-hour nap in the morning, which really allows me a lot of time to hang out with you guys, craft, get some stuff done, and play with the papers. So have fun playing with the papers, everybody. Thank you to those of you who are you've been around and you hung out with me. We've chatted. We've, made stuff together. That's awesome. I love hearing that. There's nothing that makes my heart sing more than hearing that you guys go make stuff and you're creating things, and because that's what it's all about. What else can I tell you? I just put out my October digital kits. If you didn't see the video on Wednesday this week. I put it out a day early just because the first fell on a Thursday, and I thought, why wait? Plus, I wanted to show you guys sunshine, so there you go. And so feel free to check those out. Those are in my Etsy shop, and the link is down below. I think there's paper and lace, these are the new ones, 5 new ones. Paper and lace, book plates, butterflies #2, black and white flowers, and German magazine ads. So lots of options. And in the last video, I think I showed you different ways that you could possibly use them. There's a million ways you can use these things, but just to get just whistle wetters. And there's, I think, 55 other digital kits in there if you are interested in digital kits. And sometimes the reason folks like digital kits is because you don't have storage issues. You don't have to pay for the hard copy original old ephemera, which can sometimes be kind of pricey. And maybe you can't find it. Maybe it's not in your vicinity, your area, or you don't know how to source this, or it's hard and difficult. It's just so much easier to print it out. I get that. I totally get that. So that's an option for you. If you can find the real stuff, awesome. I mean, there's nothing like feeling the old stuff, the old paper, the old crinkle, the old authenticity of the richness of the old. But it's not mandatory. You don't have to use old stuff or vintage stuff at all in your junk journals. Don't ever be limited by your supplies. Don't ever let your creativity be stifled. Don't ever let the lack of a tool stop you. You find a way, you think about it, and you think, hey, okay, I don't have that gizmo, but what could I do in place of that gizmo? You don't have a 1-inch circle punch, and everybody's doing all those darn thumb tabs out there with their, they're ever so cute. Oh, look how cute that is. And now she's just going to come along and do her thing, and she can make a cute little pocket out of that. But I don't have that thing. You know what? You just grab a piece of paper, and you got scissors? Okay, you can take, what can you take? Here, if I had a quarter, okay, here's what I have. I have a spool, and I can draw around the spool, and I can just find a way to do this. I can grab a pencil. Yes, I can, because I have it out ready. And I can do this, and then I can come along and cut that up, because I am the best fussy cutter known to mankind. Okay, not, but I can just follow that. It might take me a second longer, but I'm not out in the woods. Like I'm not dead in the doorway. Okay, this is the worst fussy cutting half semicircle ever, but it will work. It'll get you through. And then you come along and you ink it up and you say, job well done. Job well done. I found a way. And isn't that the spirit of the crafter? To craft, to create things. And sometimes those things are tools themselves. Sometimes they're old pieces of paper we take and we dip them in coffee and we say, hey, look at this awesomeness. Isn't that great? So then I can put down something like that. Yeah, I think I'll do that actually. While I'm sitting here yakking with you. So I just open your mind and know that you have way more options and possibilities and opportunities than you can even use in a day. So I know how it feels like when you say, I don't have all the fancy stuff, I don't have all the fancy tools, I use flour and water for glue. I mean, I got nothing, Pam. I got nothing. And I want you to know you have things. You have things that can be, have multiple purposes and multiple uses. And then you're off and running and you got a pocket. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're having fun again. You're rolling again. Life is good. So, yeah, I want you to experience the fullness and the richness of crafting. I mean, that's why we craft. We sit down and we just want to get lost in the process. Okay, I got to show you something weird. This is weird looking at me. I'm just going to pull it over here exactly as it is. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a bit. Okay. Look at that. That was just sitting there like that. That's so weird, isn't it? Okay, that is a pin on my, there's some magnets I put here to hold the pin for my art glitter glue. And it just happened to grab it like totally sideways. That's so funny, isn't it? Normally it sits like that. I don't know why, I just had to show you that, but that was just weird. So yeah, so just remember that when you feel dry in the supply bucket, you know, or dry in the creativity zone, just remember that the world is your oyster and opportunities abound for you every second. Look at things with new eyes and just roll up your sleeves and say, okay, with what I have, what can I do? What can I play with? How can I change it? How can I morph it? What's in my garbage can that got thrown out? Is there some packaging? Is there some junk mail? Is there some somebody else's junk mail? Or so did you ask your neighbors, hey, if you get any extra junk mail, I'd be happy to take it off your hands because I'm a crafter. And people feel good about that. They're like, oh yeah, you're going to put this to good use? Here, please take it. We have all the stuff from my husband's office too. You want that? I got a bunch of file folders. You want that? And next thing you know, you're going home with armfuls of stuff and you're thinking, no, that wasn't so hard. And so I want you to know that the world is plentiful for you and you can never run out of ideas paper crafting. There's so many things we can do with this. And every time I see a new way to do something with paper, I'm like, there it is again. See, evidence that there are still new ideas coming. So I've got a lot of ideas coming your way and I can't wait to show them to you. I'm very excited. Holly's very excited as well. And well, Sunshine's sleeping. So life is good. I give you all big warm hugs today. And let's see, what else didn't I tell you? Oh, the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, it's a monthly emailed free newsletter. You get a junk journal tip, a free digital image, checklist of supplies, a note from the bookmaker, and October's is going to go out tomorrow. If anybody's having trouble finding their newsletter, they signed up for it. Often what happens is you're actually registered, unless you put your email in wrong, but you're actually registered, but maybe it's going into a different folder when it comes in. And I've actually had lots of people find it in their promotions folder, maybe your updates folder, but maybe not in your primary folder. So that's something to think about. It just depends on the way your email system filters stuff. So it may put it in a junk folder or a spam folder or something like that. But odds are, if the email address is good, it is going out to you. Just you may need to look for it to see what folder it's actually falling in. And make Pamela@thepaperoutpost.com a safe contact for your email system so that it doesn't, filter or shoot it off into some oblivious space that you'll never find. I barely understand my own email program, so, hats off to you guys trying to find stuff. Most people find them successfully. And what else can I tell you? Videos come out Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. My podcasts, which are audio. New content, new material, different from my videos, is also free, and you can just click on the link below, or you can, if you have Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or there's 7 other platforms, you can also listen on those if you want to. And these are great if you're grocery shopping or walking the dog, or putting the laundry away. You just want something to listen to for fun. There you go. And there's already 75 from this year, and I started last year, and I lost count how many there are. So. yeah, there's lots to listen to, lots of topics. And feel free to send me ideas for topics, because I want to know what you guys want to talk about. So if you think, hey, this would be a great idea for a podcast, let me know. Let me know. Just shoot me a comment or a DM or an email at pamela@thepaperoutpost.com. And yeah, I will definitely put it on the idea list, because yeah, I want to hear your heartbeat and your pulse of what you're curious about. And I should do a poll on that. Yeah, so maybe I'll pop one into the community tab to find out what you would like to hear on the podcast. That might be an idea too. I think then you can comment below it. I don't know how long comments are open for those, or if they cut them off at some time. But if you're interested, feel free to chime in. I'd love to hear what you say. I thoroughly enjoy reading your comments, everybody. I get so much from them, and I really appreciate that you take the time to comment and everything. So thank you for that very much. And remember that fun can be simple, and create with reckless abandon, everybody. You guys have a lot of fun, and I'll see you next time. Bye.